The idea was born at me for a long time. In the 80s I heard the song, performed by many artists. Each one of them sang a line that was really cool, like, as it is now used in Nate. In another song later use different, replacing each other, the person probably the method of computer imposition. They withdraw from killing each other so that it looks like a multifaceted original mix contractor. Another, very loved me artist, in different languages in the same song tied one and the same phrase, declaration of love. The essence of this idea, write the hymn of our planet, the Earth. When he saw the contest on YouTube, I remembered about his youthful thoughts. They were about the fact that it would be nice, perhaps, perform the song not only the variety of performers and voices, but also in different languages, maybe not only human, the penalty of the nightingale, the squeaking of the mouse, the conversation whales, churn grasshopper. Yes, and not only the living beings, the sound of the sea, the rumbling of the volcano or the thunder, the murmur of the river, the crunch of snow, the moaning of the wind. Some of this already, to some extent somewhere, perhaps embodied. However, can do some piece called Anthem of the Earth. I'm aware of. In my opinion, such a work may not be the only one. Moreover, the right to co-authorship in the writing of this work, in my opinion, equally belongs to all people. And this is the basic idea. Let's write an anthem of our planet, the whole world. How to do this? In creative endeavors there are no borders or boundaries. Everyone is on a whim can think and decide for yourself. What could be done for this? This means that I have no ready-made formula. But, of course, for many years, I sometimes come some thoughts on this issue, and in the last days, something considered and can offer. However, once again, all that I can give is not definitively and clearly formulated concept, but rather, interactive message for the flight of creative thought. What you can do, to write a national anthem. First of all, of course, it is necessary to decide, do you share the idea of writing an anthem of the planet on which you live? Under the concept of national anthem in this context, mean a piece of music. Accordingly, such a work should be of a form of words, the size and rhyme, music tempo and rhythm. In addition, there should be an meaning. How to combine all these categories into a single product? General anticipation is as follows, each hymn praising his subject, but the meaning of the anthem is a kind of respectful love of the subject of chanting. In my language there is no special word or term for this kind of love, but you can call this feeling of love. Or, I'll try to take advantage of the Greek equivalent, at least as I see it, agapao, hereinafter referred to as love. As the subject of chanting is the place of residence of a person in general, you can't try to use one word, for example, the earth, or, as an option, love. This, spoken in different languages, it will have a different amount of the sound can. In some languages, it would be one syllable, or even, as a matter of sound, in the other, the whole phrase, and somewhere, perhaps, and the proposal, as a definition, if there is no established term. These multilingual sounds and can form the basis of the song, for further combining in a single work, by combining cutting audio files. Not very seems to be, who can handle this work alone, or what should be the team to gather in all the countries and continents all possible forms of the sound of one word, but of the world over power you can. I specifically left 2 examples of words, so that was visible to the invariance of choice. Everyone can offer his own version or, in general, the combination of words and, as it is just an idea, then each have the opportunity to realize it, and quite differently. Why I suggest as an anthem of our planet select the word love, and not restrict the word earth. On this for several reasons. Basic, this feeling of love, which fills any, in my opinion, anthem, anthem, for without this sense of just some music with words even and solemn, it is easy to be convinced, while watching the international competitions. We learn the anthem each, their state for several chords, sounds, rhythm and size of fragments of words, as a whole in the spirit. So it must be with the anthem of the earth. This work should unite people, them with the planet nature and a world of people. It is possible that it will listen to our descendants on other planets and contemporaries. But, even if a person on Earth got into a situation when he is deprived of the opportunity to communicate with the world voluntarily or not, is not important. This work should contribute to the awakening of he has the most beautiful feeling. Note that in the current degree of urbanization, such a person, most often, will be a city dweller. And in just the same way as any national anthem, it should be easily recognizable, in the spirit. First of all, the rhyme of the anthem will be determined by the consonants of one and the same words, spoken in different languages. This means that from the preliminary material, you will need to select a rhyme. The size will be determined by the brute force of possible combinations with the account of the desired contact in the verse. No limits set. It is impossible, because the options of the anthem will be not one, definitely, absolutely incomprehensible for me. The question now for the music. I have no education in music. However, as in philology, cinematography or any other form of art that appreciate here positively, a simple, unprofessional language easier to explain, and people will treat their opportunities of the less self-critical. It is likely that without music, not but, no ideas, no. It is possible that the first is the verse, or is it always this way, when drafting national anthem? And then write the music for himself, rhythm and size of the verse chosen the already existing music, or it will be a combination of existing songs. Unlikely to befit all the languages in one single product, however, is not desirable. In my opinion, it would be a repetition of the one language in one product. And the use of close languages, perhaps, also not very much. It will be good even if it is only one sound or syllable. One case, certainly, can't be replaced by another language. However, this does not mean that it is unacceptable to create your option, because, perhaps, it is inspired by your creative source that will complement your option, or change the source and get the best national anthem. Is part of the purpose will already have been achieved. If it turns out that your native language is someone saying his part of the anthem, and you think that we should sing it differently, or also, but your voice, sing. More than that, do a few takes. And a variety of styles, if you wish. The blues, rap, opera, folk, and words can be different. Sing and the earth, and love. It is possible that you will find the incorrect even the very formulation of the question of writing anthem within a short film competition with them willing to agree, or are not satisfied with the quality of the idea, format of communication, level of presentation of ideas, in short, anything but the idea of you hunt to help you to health, in full accordance with your thoughts and beliefs. However, if you understand the essence of the idea and it was you personally to taste, what you can do for the project, and, besides that, think, read, speak the word love with love. You can, for example, to translate this film to your language or any other, or improve the already existing translation. And don't be confused possible sloppy the original translation. Remember that the original source is very spontaneous, and can be carried out at all and not a native speaker, but if not the first attempt, and then the next would not be, or to state the essence of their words, or, simply, to tell some friend creative person or a stranger / and, maybe, you will leave good comments in the discussion and work on the creation of the anthem, turn off into a separate track or transfer to another language commentary, which you worthy of translation or discussion in another language. That is, any popularization of the ideas of the national anthem at the open platform will help the idea. Any sounds of the planet, as already mentioned, can't be and the background, and a separate sounding theme. It means they have to share. Don't be alarmed even they're apparent. The main criterion of evaluation: love. It is possible that by the time you are familiar with the idea, long-ended YouTube contest, or him heard before, but wanted to show his creativity, for example, in some of the already existing options to put a box with his personal performance or replace the word in the other language. Please, that is, the work of this is that nobody is able to say, this is what you get. A special word of the organization of the project is to be a platform for the exchange of ideas. Not very desirable to have more than one for each language, and this should exclude the pre-selection. Same should be public, about how to YouTube. Your opinion, too, will affect the final product of the joint creative work. In spite of the fact that this project is not commercial purposes, however, it is likely that someone wants to support the idea or its promotion of the financial with the indication of the purposes of the flow of funds or without. Please, let's think together, where you can send funds to maximize the success of the project. Do not forget that your version of the word may be just that and will be included in any version of the hymn. It is likely that more will depend on the depth and sincerity of the manifestation of feelings, rather than on the strength of personal vocal data. Given that the planet is clearly more than 200 languages, and the national anthem is not infinite, forgetting all have to do. They don't know what version will serve as a trigger for the inspiration of sound. Subsequently, it may happen your performance will be applied cut. The entire national choir. This, incidentally, is one of the possible directions of creation. Let's say you like the tone, but you can add its timbre, water in the same vein. Perhaps it is your voice will be so low in a national virtual choir or like perfect background. Or maybe you have a friend singer, whose voice you want to hear in this project, but it is far from the internet or YouTube today. It with an equal degree of probability can be an grandmother in the city and grandson in the village, or is not far away, but is in need of assistance in the recording of. Help each other and share with all form of interaction. In short, I urge you to co-creative interactive message in the cloud YouTube with a purpose in writing of the hymn of love of our planet. And let my last word in this film will be a starting point for your creativity. Love.